But I want to talk to you now about training. Training, of course, will depend on the context you're in regarding, I suppose, some small details. But I want to run you through, I suppose, the big principles of what I'm seeking to achieve in the training I do of particularly my connection team. Before I get started, I know that there's three things I'm trying to achieve. Number one, I want to train them to be effectively utilized in the course. I want them to be the most beneficial they possibly can be for the sake of the non-Christians who'll be coming. So I need to involve some training that is specific to the evangelistic course I'm running. Two, I want to take this as a discipleship moment to give them time to think about evangelism, to be captured with eternal realities, to become more like Jesus, to get pumped up for evangelism in general. So I know I'll need time in the Word to achieve that. And third, I want to get them bonded together and excited as a team. I want them to pray with one another, to discuss with one another, we'll do some role play stuff as people act as non-Christians and Christians in conversation and that kind of thing. Because I really want this team to be the nucleus of the team for the next few years. There might be people on the fringes of it who come in and out. In fact, I want that. But I want to develop a core group who are really, really excellent at doing this, who stay the course for all of it. So because I've got that as the objectives, I've made the decision not to do multiple bits of training, every term, but I want to do one night of training before the course starts to ensure that what we're going to talk about can be applied directly into the course. I'm happy to do evangelism training for the church family outside of this, but because this has such a deep connection with their role as connection leaders, I really want this to be specified for them. So for me, the nights, and I run these before every term that we run them, the nights will be done in the format, the physical format of the actual course itself. That way new people into the team can see what it's going to look like. So I'll set up the tables and chairs, we'll use the same space in the same place in the same time, dessert, coffee, all that sort of stuff. I want the night to look like what it's going to look like the week after that. That makes them know, firstly, I care about them because I've gone to effort to do that. But secondly, it does visually help them understand exactly what's going to happen. I start each time of training by preaching, by opening the Word of God and speaking on a topic pertaining to the great mission that we've been given to proclaim the gospel. Now, that doesn't just have to be a kind of the harvest is plentiful sermon, or it doesn't have to be a sermon that's based even on the death and resurrection. It can be focused on sanctification. It can be focused on the role of the church. It can be from the book of Acts, or it can be from the Old Testament. But really, I want to be given a talk which can help them really get into the Word and consider the eternal realities of what we're doing. That this is the most important thing that they will do to be part of God's great mission. So I prepared that talk. I give the talk. It's not a regular 40-minute sermon. It's a 15 to 20-minute type thing, but I want their Bibles open and I'll have discussion questions so they can talk about it, maybe during the talk or after the talk as well. We'll finish that time in prayer. We'll then go to the way I order it, to the talk which is about the course itself. So I will spend a good half an hour at that stage going through what to expect next week, how the nights actually run. For the people who've been coming more than once, obviously, this can be boring. So I've got to make sure that I do it creatively and with energy. I involve them in the process. I can get some of them up, interview them, let them ask their opinion. Hey, what's it like? What to expect? Or if you've done this now for 10 years, well, of course, if you've done it for 10 years, you're probably not watching this. But if you've done it for 10 years, at that point, you can split the team off and have people who've done it 5 times, over there, and do something specific with them. A team member, the team leader can run something, the new people there. But generally, I like it all in together. I run through the conduct of the night. What are the roles? What are the responsibilities? What's going to happen? Then I role play what a non-Christian will feel like. So I get one of the people to stand up, usually someone I've tapped on the shoulder beforehand, and I get them to go out and walk in and say, right, now imagine everyone, what are they feeling? Okay, and step by step as we go through the night. Okay, so how can we act? What can we do? I then go through do's and don'ts, conversational do's and don'ts, what to expect. I run through each week of the course, and the big picture here is that they're getting course-specific training, which will help them understand their role next week. So we've started with Bible, we get into course-specific training, we then break, have a bit of a chat, and then I want to get into some evangelism training, specifically tied in with what they're going to be doing next week. So that might be, well, anything that you want. It could be running through 2 ways to live, learning a gospel outline. It could be writing your testimony in 100 words, taking time to do that and practicing on one another. It could be going through how to answer tough questions or how to utilize questioning evangelism as a technique. It could be going through the material from Just Start Talking, that resource which helps you think about how to bring spiritual things into conversations. It could be anything, okay? But I just want to continually be just going through that with the people every term or every time we're training, because this is something that will continually benefit them. This is helping them learn how to be on mission for their life, and I want to have that as part of it. We'll then finish together in prayer, praying for ourselves, praying for the next weeks. I will get up the leaders, we'll go through the communication process with WhatsApp, the times to get here, so on and so forth. Now, I want you to imagine at that point, you're someone who's been coming to try before you buy, as we hit on last time, someone who's not quite sure. But I want to promise you at this point, there's an excitement, there's a buzz, there's a sort of a grasping hold of these big eternal realities. And it's very, very rare at that point that people who are umming and ahhing are like, man, I'm in, I'm 100% in, I'm coming. And that's a great benefit for that. So we do all that training, it ends in prayer, okay, and then we just hang out, we chat, and I don't want them to pack away the room, whatever. I want them to be really thinking about what's coming next week. I also want you to imagine what that means they will be like with their Christian friends from church when they see them at Bible study that week or they see them at church. They're going to be trying to advertise the course to them. They're going to be trying to gossip the course. And that's a huge thing that happens in the process of training. Now, every term, you've got to be creative. You've got to think these things through. But I want to offer that, you got 10 times with these guys before this starts getting quite tired and you need to reconfigure it a little bit. So give that a good hard crack. Finally, the alternate option, of course, is to do training multiple times. My worry with that is that you could potentially burn out the team. The 5 weeks with the people is intense. Like, you get exhausted from doing it. So I just want to honour their time and make sure that I'm zeroing in closely on what they're doing. I said last time about leading people. I don't choose these times to be ones where they're going to choose what music we're playing or food we're bringing. I can make those decisions. I'm the leader. But I want them to feel that their big responsibility are the conversations. That's where the money, that's the action. That's what I want. So in this time together, just to recap, we've looked at training. And I pointed out that I want to hit on 3 things. I want to do course-specific training. I want to do a Bible time, get them gripped in eternal realities. I want to do evangelism training. I also want to see the people bonded together and growing together in a team and excitement. Now, in the next time together, what we're going to do is look at the conduct of the team throughout the course, how I relate to them during that, how we lead them, the back and forth that can happen before we keep going after that. See you next time.